Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Local Pundit. I'm Josh Shanty. This is your Wrexham news and update show for Monday. I think about that. Monday, February 12th. Yes, it's a match preview. It's a news show. Got a few things to get into. Kind of a slow day in the world of football, even though that we're diving right into a new week, and we have a game tomorrow. They're coming thick and fast. Had a pretty good show yesterday in regards to like how I think we're gonna, how Parkett said I think his mindset is going to be he's not going to phase him, and I think we're going to get right into this. So smash a like if you haven't already. I see a couple people are joining in, so give that a couple seconds. But thanks for coming in. I know we're doing a little bit of a later show for everybody, but yeah, we got a lot to get to. Got a live watch along tomorrow. If anyone's going to join that on a Tuesday, I will be here watching it as well. Have to take a little bit of a break during it, but these are times. It's a midweek game, and we got a bunch of them coming up. So yeah. Anyways, yeah, we're gonna give the match day preview. Obviously, we're playing Sutton United tomorrow. It's a big game. It's an absolute big game. Aaron is in the house. Hey man, how you doing, Aaron? Good to see you. Good to see you. Just the blips is Brian Ellis. I love it. It's just a blip. It's just a blip. But I want to bring this up before we get into it, and subscribe if you haven't already. And I think everyone here has subscribed, but share to your friends. But I wanted to put this out there. This comes from Carol. Carol in HR. This came on the Discord account. If you're not in the Discord yet, get involved. There's a lot of good stuff happening there. And there were some hey, Pink, sir. There was a lot of chat about Mullen and how he's doing and how his lungs and everything. Hold on 1 second. Oh my God! I think who said it a couple times ago where that Banks, when I do a live show, he always gets an issue with his nose. I have to clean. Sorry, TMI. He sneezes, he gets stuff, and I got to clean him out, and he needs to breathe. So it's a lot. Anyways, back to the show. This comes from Carol in HR. Get on the Discord. I said, here's a question I might want to bring up that's worth raising on the show. If the call had been we were losing Mullen until January to heal from his injury, do you think he'd be in better form now, and do you think the team could have kept the position of top three? So that's a question I want to put out there in this Discord chat. This is with the tactics chat. Basically, we're talking about why hasn't Moles been firing? He came back. Did they bring him back too early? That's something that we wanted to bring up to the chat as we talk about the Sutton and Wrexham preview here. So put that out there. Thoughts about that? Having basically Mullen staying not playing until January. And do you think we would have kept our top three spot? So personally, for me, I think he's definitely been overworked. I think a lung injury is a big issue, but I don't think we would have been able to keep our top spot. Granted that I think he's done. I think he's done okay. I don't think he's getting the service he needs. So I think it's part of it too. So I know we're kind of digressing a little bit here, but that's something I brought up in the chat. Something that we think that we possibly have to think about too. So. That's something out there. So Brian else says, I think these teams have worked us out. Brian, you think so? If you want to come in and have a chat about it, Brian, pop in. If you come in, by the way, I just want to put this out there to everyone, and this is no spite at anyone. If you want to come in and have a chat and have a say, you don't need to put your camera on. That's not it's not necessary. So if you want to come in and have your chat and have your say, just say, yeah, let me come in, or you can have your camera on. I don't care, but have your say about that. But for me, I think that I don't know if I would have had him sit till January. I think we would have got a lot of stick for that. So, but that's just my 2 cents. Hello. Tippy Tappy's in the house. I think that is Sheldon. How you doing, Shell? But listen, we have a game tomorrow. They're coming thick and fast. The games are coming thick and fast. And tomorrow's not an easy match. Yes, they are. They are at the bottom of the table. I think they're 23 out of 24. Let me see. Sutton United are 23 out of 24. But talking to Kieran and talking to everyone else, this is not going to be an easy match. When is it ever an easy match? I mean, for God's sakes, Bradford City were 19th going into the game on the weekend. So, I think numbers, and like I said yesterday, numbers and what these teams look at on paper and their form, it doesn't matter. We are not a great road team, and I think tomorrow is going to be the where we need to. I almost put Road Warriors or Road Dragons on the title there, but that was too obvious. So I just did match preview. So I think tomorrow is the start of us turning this around, and we have to do it. I know it's not a must-win situation as we talk about, but it is we got to go out and win the goddamn game. Period. End of story. But hook or crook, 1-0. I don't care. We got to figure this out. Aaron, the Hoosiers fan, says he'd just now be getting back into shape, so I don't think it would be better. Yeah, I think that's true. I mean, Christ, and to additionally here, he scored 10 league goals so far, so we lose those. Not sure we can make those up. Yeah, not sure we can make those up because there has been injuries to Fletch, there has been injuries to Palmer. Palmer's been out. Who are we going to put up front? Macca played up front for a little bit too. So, putting it out there, coulda, woulda, shoulda, things like that. But I don't think, I don't think that would have helped us out. That said, it would be a good push for the rest of the season. On that note, I think I put in the Discord that Parkinson, I don't think rates will play JM and Mulls at the same time because yesterday he brought on Dalby for Fletcher, or the other day he brought on Dalby for Fletcher, and then he brought on JM for Mulls. So I think he sees him as a like for like, which in my opinion, I don't think that would be good for him. So in my opinion, I don't think that he thinks as Mulls and Jam can play in the same game today. North Wales guys, what's going on? How you doing, Greg? A couple of sub appearances would help him. Yeah, I think tomorrow. I think he's going to start him on the bench. I think he's going to start JM. I think he's going to start JM and maybe I don't know. I would like for him to start Mullen and JM up front. I don't think he'll do that, but I think he's going to start. I think he's going to start Marriott tomorrow. I think Mullen definitely needs a rest. I think Mullen definitely needs a rest. I think he's either going to sit. Get your thoughts on this too. I think he might sit Macca. It's going to be a combination of sits tomorrow. Macca for Mendy. Elliott Lee might get a rest, or Mullen might get a rest. One of those three players. I don't think will be in the starting lineup. What are your thoughts on that? But I do agree with you, North Wales. Stat I saw today, we haven't lost a game this season when starting Palmer. Where is Palmer? What's going on with Palmer? Tell me. Anyone know where Palmer is? Is he injured? Is he just what's going on with him? Is he not just making the bench because he's where Phil spots up? Thoughts on that? But it is a preview show, so let's talk about the preview a little bit too. Sutton United, we play tomorrow. Wrexham head south, determined to bounce back from a rare home defeat. Yes, it was a rare home defeat, but it was still a defeat and coming out of not a timely time. Wrexham are eager to get back to winning ways by Sutton. But Sutton are tougher opponents than the league position suggests. Their physicality caused problems for their hosts at the Stoke, and they will want to repeat that performance. So, speaking with Kieran yesterday on the show, so Sutton United are a decent outfit for the fact that they are physical. They're going to dirty it up. They'll probably do not exactly what Salford did, but they made it an ugly game. And I don't think they're going to let us play football. So how are we going to do that? How are we going to combat that? Can we impose ourselves and play our football, get the ball on the ground, get the ball in the middle of the park, and use the midfield rather than lumping it? Now, granted, we didn't do that. I think if we play the same game we played, God damn it, I'm talking on both sides of my mouth now. If we play the same game we played on Saturday against Bradford City, we could win it. We could win the match easily. We could win the match. Now, can we implement that going against another team? I hope so. I hope we don't play down to our competition. Moving on, he says a fourth consecutive defeat on Saturday. This is Mark Griffiths, by the way, on the website. A fourth consecutive defeat on Saturday was a blow for the Red Dragons, but performance was considerable improvement from the previous week's loss at Salford. O'Connell returned to the side and was impressive in defense, while his long passing was flawless. Yes, I thought O'Connell was great. I thought O'Connell coming back in was great. I'd love to see O'Connell and O'Connor back in. He did have a scan. We don't have an update on O'Connor yet to see what his time frame is coming back. So something we need to look at. Aaron Hayden looked to have benefited from another week on the training ground too. Yeah, that said, he wasn't hitting long balls. He wasn't heading balls in the air. So that's beneficial there too. But again, why Max had a good run of form in there? Why did we get rid of Hayden for Max? Obviously he rates Hayden a little bit higher than Max. So fine, fair play. Failure to score at the Stoke ended a remarkable scoring streak in the home league matches. We set a club record by scoring 51 consecutive home league games, stretch 27 months, with 2 goals scored in the last 4 matches. Phil Parkinson have been keen to reinvigorate his team's attack. That's a $5 word. Reinvigorate his team's attack, and new man Jack Marriott will be keen to start up front. See, there's the heat. Do you think Jack's going to start? Do you think he's going to start, Jack? I'm putting it out there to the people that are watching. Out of those 3 I said, Elliot Lee, Mullen, and JM. Do you think there's going to be some changes there? If there's some other changes, what would you make? Remember, we have to use this full squad. We've got to use this full squad. Right now, the February schedule looks like this. Bradford in the 10th, right? We just had that match. That was a loss. Sutton the 13th. And then that's an away match. And then we're at Notts. Then we're at MK Dons away. Then we're home to Notts, away at MK, away at Gillingham, away at FGR, and then March 2nd, Accrington Stanley at home. Do you think he's going to make some changes? He's got to use this squad. Now, I know, like I said yesterday, he's going to have his mentality cap on of like, this won't phase him. We're going to go. Is he going to be stubborn? We make adjustments. Is he going to be stubborn or make adjustments? How are we going to get through this rough patch? I don't think it really affects him per se, Parkinson, and how he's going to go out doing his business, but will he make some adjustments? So out of those 3 guys that I mentioned, if you have any other thoughts, put them in the chat or come on and say hi. Aaron, I think the team will be the same. Only changes will be up front. Could be up front. What do you think, Aaron? Aaron, do you think he's going to make? What are the changes he's going to do? Hey, John Hampton, good to see you too, my guy. Good to see you. The White Buffalo. Like, I don't know if you checked out his music yet, but he's really good. Every time I see that thumbnail of you, John, looks just like him. So from the opposing view, this is from the Sutton end of things. There's no point in denying the situation that Sutton are in. It'll take a remarkable effort to avoid relegation. However, with their league position is precarious. They have been competitive since their horrible Christmas period. So they are a competitive side. This isn't a rollover team. They're going to battle with us tomorrow. And, when you have a wounded animal or someone who's, backed into a corner, i.e. Sutton at this point right now in the stage of the league with, we're game 30 right now, 30-31, they need to start winning matches. So they're not going to come out and just fold on us. So a week before the big lad got the reindeer fired up. Okay, that's interesting there. Sutton suffered an 8-0 thrashing from Stockport, the league leaders. A week later, they were beaten at home by Mansfield Town. However, they bounced back with a terrific win at AFC Wimbledon. And although they hadn't won their last 8 league matches, none of the 3 losses they suffered was by a margin more than 1 goal. So they battle. I think tomorrow's going to be an ugly, ugly battle. I really do. I really, really do. I think tomorrow's going to be an ugly, ugly battle. And I think we need to come out on top and make it. If whatever way, I don't think we want to play down to the competition, but I think we got to go in there and battle ourselves. Whatever, hook or crook, we got to get the win. I did check it out, and his music is awesome. See, there you go. Love it, John. Love it, love it, love it. The White Buffalo, he's so good. Really, really good. He played a lot on, sorry to jump around there. The White Buffalo played a lot on Sons of Anarchy. I don't know if anyone watches watched that show. He did a lot of musical score for that too. They played him a lot there. So check him out. Aaron says, I can see him sitting Mullen and Fletch and starting Marriott, hopefully Palmer, but probably not Dalby. I agree. I can see that happening. Well, we don't know where Palmer is. Is Palmer just not making the bench because we put JM in there, or is Palmer injured? So that's, getting information out. And I don't have anything. I thought I'd get some information, usually do like a Parkinson pregame presser. Richard Williams didn't have anything up on it too. He just had a couple things up today. Wrexham still boasts the best home record in the league, despite suffering a rare racecourse defeat. But nothing on. There was no comments from Parkinson before this match, which I usually get this late. So it's 4:20 my time. Usually I get this late. There's an article on Anthony Ford, reflects on his fiance's brain tumor, which is we could talk about as well, but which is very sad. I'm glad that him and his wife and his family are okay. But no Parkinson quotes today, which I thought we would get. Let me see here. Aaron also says, then start Fletch and Mull Saturday versus Notts. Yeah. Again, we have to use the entire team. for sure. So I'm on that. Parkey is not going to change and will risk his position at the on the same taxes as always. Fear that. I fear that. I don't think he's going to be. I don't think he's rattled. I don't know if he's watched the show yesterday. I agree. I don't think he's rattled, but I don't. My fear is that stubbornness will get in the way, and I think tomorrow's not an easy match. It's not, like I said, none of them are easy, but nothing's a gimme. So I fear that his stubbornness will get in the way, but I want him to make some changes. He talks about using the full squad, but I want him to make some changes. Okay, so moving on. Manager Matt Gray paid the price for Sutton United struggles in December, and he was replaced by Steve Morrison, who has a year as a Cardiff City manager under his belt, as well as 20 Welsh caps. He faced a daunting challenge at the start of his tenure, but emerged with great credit as the new team managed an impressive draw at Mansfield, and also held Barrow to 2-2 draw. So those are two good draws for them. Managed an impressive draw at Mansfield and a draw at Barrow. Those are like Barrow and Mansfield are solid sides, really, really solid sides. 4 draws and 2 losses mark a solid start for the team, which is clearly refusing to give in. So they're going to be resistant. They're big bodied. I think we won last time out. Did we win one? Let me check the last time out. We won 2-1 last time out, and the goals came from Howard. The goals came from Elliot Lee. No, where are the goals? Elliot Lee scored the 28. Scored the winner for the last game. So it was a 2-1. Let me just see what that was. Match stats here for the last time out. We last time out this is on October 23rd, I believe. We had 69% possession, and we had 10 corners. They had 2. So that Mullen scored in the 14th, and Elliot Lee scored in the 89th minute. So that was the last time out at the Stoke. And we had possession, but I think that was also with a different manager. So things are not the same. So we'll see, but they're a solid side. So let me see here. Moving on, I want to talk about a few things. There's a bad here. Okay. Our most recent match at Sutton saw us end the run of defeats at the Gander Green Lane. The game came in March 22nd. This is old stuff here. So I'm not fully confident going into this match. I do think we're not at a must-win scenario, and I know we talked about it earlier. We're not at a must-win scenario yet, but we're getting to the point where it's like we cannot continue the rot. A draw away, it's a point. We need 3. I'm optimistic. I want to see how we're going to bounce back and respond. I thought we did play better on Saturday against Bradford City. Rub of the green says other things. It could have been 2-0. We could have lost 2-0. Could have lost 5-3. Could have won 5-3. But we got to go. We got to put things back. We got to put things right. Tippy tappy there to Sheldon. Parkinson could just keep with the same. He could go with AO, Macca. O'Connell will probably start. Tozo will probably be there, and I think he's going to go Hayden on the right. He's probably going to go Barnett. This is what he'll probably do. Barnett, do the 3 in the middle, Cannon, Lee, and Evans, Gio, and he'll probably start Mullen. With Dalby. I can see him doing that. What I'd like him to do, I don't know if he'll do this. I would start AO, give Mendy a shot on the left. I'd keep O'Connell, keep Toes. I put Max back in for Aaron Hayden, even though, they're both kind of whatever. But Max is 21. If they're a little rough, he's probably going to keep Hayden back in there. I put Gio, Evans, JJ, JM, and Moles. That's what I would do. He's not going to do that, but he's going to do what he's going to do. I think he's going to go with the lineup I said. I think he's going to go the same lineup, but I can see him putting Dalby up front next to Mullen. That's what I think he's going to do. We'll see. But Bolt needs to get a run out too. Bolt's not getting on the pitch either. Some things we need to look out for are tomorrow. There's some other fixtures that are really, really interesting. So Stockport go to Crewe, top of the table clash. And Mansfield entertain Harrogate Town. Accrington Stanley, AFC Wimbledon, Barrow versus Forest Green. Barrow's going to win that match probably. I can't say that because you would say that we would win that match against against Sutton tomorrow. So nothing. So Accrington, Stanley, Wimbledon, Barrow, Forest, Bradford City, Milton Keynes. That's actually a good game. Colchester, Grimsby, Crawley Town, Walsall, Gillingham, Swindon Town, Mansfield Town, Harrogate Town, Newport versus Notts. That's a good match. Salford versus Doncaster, Stockport versus Crewe. That's the match of the day. Tranmere versus Morecambe. So legally, there's there's a lot going on. There's a lot going on tomorrow, and I think in a midweek game like this, we gotta put this right. Ben Tozer, 500th league appearance tomorrow. Possibly that's a milestone for him tomorrow. Jordan Tunnicliffe, 325 league match. That's for him tomorrow if he gets on the pitch. Aaron Hayden could play his 250th career appearance tomorrow if he gets on. O'Connell, his 250 league game tomorrow. And Andy Cannon could his 225th league appearance tomorrow. There's a lot of things that can happen tomorrow. Dalby, 150th league game tomorrow. And Elliot Lee, 75th Wrexham league appearance tomorrow. So those are all the milestones that have come through. I hate to not sound confident, but I'm not confident. I don't know what to expect tomorrow. It is a midweek game. We didn't hear much coming out of the team this week. Out of Parkinson this morning. So I was hoping to get a little bit more of information out. Sutton, they played 31 matches. They've won 4. They've drawn 10, lost 17, negative 26 goal diff. They've lost 2 out of their last 3. So, that being said, I don't know. I mean, it's up in the air. I think we need to go and win this match and make a statement. I said that last game too. If anyone wants to have their say, I'll put you in for a minute there before we, it's like I said, it's just a preview match. While we're waiting on to see people want to come in, I'm really nervous about tomorrow. Just on a news and note there too. I want to get this up to this article here by Richard Williams. I think it's important. This is from the Leader about Anthony Ford and his family. Wrexham co-owner Ryan Reynolds' life's changing kind gesture. This is about Anthony Ford as we're reflecting on his family. Anthony Ford has opened up with details a year on from his fiancée Laura's devastating diagnosis that came just 2 weeks before their son Patty was born. Oh, Sheldon's in. We'll get back to that real quick. Hold on. Hey, Sheldon.
Hello.
How you doing, my guy? There you go.
Good.
So I was just walking. I was just going to do this article, but we can put a pause on that, but get your thoughts on things. How's everything going, man?
Yeah, not too bad. We are at the pointy end now. I have been keeping the faith with how we've been going. I've been looking at the stats, and the stats are slowly slipping away from us.
Okay, something you want to bring to the table? Let's do it.
I'll present for a second if that's okay. Yeah,
sure, absolutely. You guys got bonus stuff tonight.
Let's see.
I can try to.
Okay.
There we go.
Okay.
Going to here. Let me do this real quick. I'll do this real quick. I will take down that, and there you go. All right. Bonus coverage. Here we go.
Okay, so we're good. Everyone can see me, yeah? Right. This was match number 26. I've been running the stats for equal matches across all the teams for quite some time, and it's interesting to have a look at because I really think you can hide good performances and bad performances when you're looking with matches in hand and not played and stuff like that. So match of 26, we were actually in first position. We managed to sneak past Stockport with 52 points. They were on 51 and 50 for Mansfield. And obviously, immediately after that was the point that we started to lose. So match week 27, 28, 29. And at this point, we're just sliding back and back. However, we are still in the auto playoffs at 52 points. And now moving on to today's match. Stockport have 61, Mansfield 57. Our match is undecided, of course, because we have a game in hand. So as it stands with 52 points, Barrow have already played their match, which means they're on 53 points. So we need a draw out of the match today. That will put us on goal difference ahead of Barrow, and we will remain in the top 3 spots, going by my stats anyway.
So on that right now, we played 29 matches. Barrow played 31, Crew 31, Mansfield 30, and Stockport 30. All right, so on this is if everyone's even playing, or how does that work out? Because we're in 5th right now.
Yeah, when I say match 30, that means every single team in my list here has played 30 matches. I have adjusted.
Okay, these are adjusted. Okay, so that means the Stockport win. Well, that's there. The last Crew win is not in there, correct? So okay, that would have
the last Crew won't be in there because that's match 31 for them.
Right.
So the only match that is undecided in this list is our match. Everything else is the set points for match 30.
Got it.
So at the end of our match today, we're either going to slip behind Barrow into 4th place if we lose again.
Mm-hmm.
We will end up in 3rd place, drawing on points with Barrow if we get a draw, and we will be back ahead and comfortably in 3rd with 55 points, 2 points ahead of them, based on even teams. And now, of course, we do know a little bit of the future here because we know Barrow have played another match that I have not counted yet, and they have lost it.
Mm-hmm.
So Barrow will slip back again, giving us an additional chance to gain more points on them in the next run of matches, match 31 for us.
Right, and Barrow play Forest Green Rovers tomorrow, who are obviously in the basement. But like I said a couple minutes ago, it's like, hey, you can say that we're going to go and smash Sutton, but you never know, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So yeah, it is a match we obviously want to win. But if we're strictly looking at looking for auto promotion spots, a draw is actually good enough. It keeps us in the top 3. And then Barrow have lost in the next match. We get another shot at gaining another 3 points on them.
This may be too far out in like some, what numbers do you think that we need to? What number do you think we need to hit to get that auto promotion spot? Now, do we have anything like that? Like, do you think we can maybe any thoughts on where we need to be? Happy Monday, all. Good to see you, Michael Wolf. That's probably a little bit out down the road, but I'd love to see where we would need to be in this, because I'm looking at the data sheet here. Cumulative points.
I have it listed in my data sheet somewhere. Actually, I have it here. Okay, so average points to gain 3rd place in League 2 is 81.5.
Okay, so we're at 52 with a game in hand at this point. At 21-20, we have 52 points. So we need 82, basically 82 points, right? That's average.
Average doesn't guarantee it, but yes, that's in around where we want to be. And the teams around us have not been scoring particularly high, so I don't see it being a very big season. So the average points is probably close enough, yes.
Well, it's interesting enough too. As I look at this right now, I'm looking at the live table, not the one you have there. The live table has and we're looking at points, the goal difference. So Mansfield and Stockport seem to be free flowing, like score. Like Mansfield has a goal difference 35. 28, and Stockport has a goal difference 35. So they seem to be scoring goals. I don't know, they seem to be free flowing. For us, Crew, Barrow. So we're basically looking at 5 and 3. We're looking at Wrexham, Barrow, Crew, Mansfield, and Stockport, 5 and 3 there.
Yes, I would agree with that.
Or you can put Dons in there too. You can put Dons in there too.
No, I think they have an extra game as well. They're at 31. I know it's even here, yes, but look, nobody is theoretically out of it. Like if you look at the points here with Stockport on 61, by the end of our match tomorrow, we could be on 55. That's only a difference of 6. That's still technically making it up. Now, at this moment, with how bad our run has been, I'm perfectly happy for Stockport and Mansfield to run away and win every single match and take points off everybody around us, and us to comfortably make 3rd. That wouldn't bother me in the slightest. But at the moment, we are still within reach of everybody. And if we go on a decent run, we could be right back up there. And certainly we're only one good match behind taking back Mansfield.
Yeah, and by the way, at the end of the season, it's a 6-pointer because we play Stockport. That's a
Yes.
6.
But yeah, it is a 6-pointer, but only on Stockport. So we have to be within striking distance of them for them.
Right. I mean, I don't say that the title is gone, but consistently Stockport, and I think you have stats up here. Stockport have done really.
Yes.
I mean, they've won. Yeah, they've done consistent. I mean, they've lost 5 games, drawn 7, won 18. They're well equipped. They're well equipped.
If you consider they had their bad point at the start of the season, very, very early. Once they got over that, they have been extremely consistent the rest of the season. So yeah, I see that continuing, to be honest. I don't expect them to have a major blip, but they are losing points here and there as well. They're not unobtainable.
Yes, they're not untouchable. Yeah, and same with Mansfield too. You know, Mansfield played 30, they've won 15, they've drawn 12, lost 3. You know, so
and
but everyone, like I said earlier, everyone's gonna have a blip. This is our blip. You know what I mean? I think someone said it right up front. I think it was Aaron.
Yeah, I agree. And it today is not the last day for it. I would accept. Well, look, I would hate a draw versus such a low team in the league. But if we had a draw tonight and then went back into winning form, that would be okay in the long game.
On that note, you know, back to winning form. What are your thoughts? I think you put it in the chat there. Is there going to be any movement there? Do you think he'll make any changes? You know,
I think he will make changes on players, but nothing else about what he's doing is going to change. Not till he's going to take it right to the end of the season. And I honestly believe no matter how bad the results get, he's just going to keep swapping around players. And that's all he's going to do. He's not going to change any other tactics. I doubt he's going to start substituting people earlier or any of the complaints we have about him. He's going to ride or die exactly the way he's been doing it. He will swap players in and out. I can see that. He did that last season as well. At points last season, he was changing every match.
So a little toy, a little bit of tinkering. You know, I was listening to something Rob when he first came in, and you know, there's a real battle, and we haven't talked since probably a couple of shows. There's a real battle about like supporting. That's cool, by the way. There's a real battle of like supporting the team no matter what. You know, we had a little bit people had a little back and forth of, you know, didn't like some of the, you know, I don't want to be the team that just plays well and still loses. So what are your thoughts on that? And I don't know if you were in the chat the other night. I think it was a Saturday night show. What are your thoughts on this, you know, on the state of things?
Well, I took a lot of positives out of the match on the weekend. I thought we did quite well in general. Now, some of the stats aren't great. We didn't have enough shots on target. But some of our very good shots were just off target. They were just outside the posts. So you can take positive from that. Like for me, if you change just 2 small things and we ended up 2-1 in that match, everybody would have been perfectly happy.
Win. Yep.
If we just had 2 things go right for us there in that last match, and we got 2 goals. A header went in, and something else fell the right way, and we won that 2-1. I guarantee you, people would not be criticizing how bad our play was during that match.
I think our play was improved. We didn't get the result, you know, and I think what had happened was we were like, oh, we played well, you know, it's a really good improvement, but again, like we didn't win the match, and I think that was the point. So it's like, I think you're right. If things went differently, we would have a different conversation, which is so like lucrative of the time here. Aaron says, totally agree with, easily could have won that 2-1. Absolutely. We were the much better side. We were. They stayed in the game. They stayed in the game long enough to win, to get a result. They were much better on Saturday.
But this is why I think you have to take the positive from the weekend's game, because if we played like that in every single match going for the rest of the season, do we think we're going to get enough points to go up? And I say absolutely yes.
I agree. I totally agree.
And it's the same sort of logic with when you end up with a draw.
Mhm.
Well, is it a win draw or a loss draw?
Yeah,
You
there's a
know,
drop.
how did you play?
Yeah,
Did you win that or did you lose it
yeah,
as a
yeah.
draw? And it's kind of the same mentality. Well, okay, you had a loss, but on another day, would you have won? Yes or no? Because that makes a difference.
Right. Yeah, swings and roundabouts, and things
Yeah,
happen. I get that for sure. And you don't get the rubber with the green. You hit the bar. Whatever. You get a penalty, which in my opinion, was never a penalty. In my opinion, um, you know, things will happen. I think you're right. If we do play like that, I'll give us that. We do play like that. We will win football matches for sure. Um, one thing that really I struggle with Parkinson is his non-response to subs. I think that
yeah.
they got the better of us. They made fresh legs, subs, and we didn't make those subs.
It drives me crazy, and one of the reasons it really bugs me is because we were always talking about the depth of our squad, and we have such great players on our bench. And if you listen to other podcasters talking about their teams, one of the complaints they often have is we have a good team, but our bench is terrible.
It's a big
They're
fall.
not they're not off to the same standard. Whereas we're the opposite. We have very, very strong people on the bench. So for me, you should be doing it the other way around. You should be telling your players that, okay, you are only going to be on for somewhere between 60 and 70 minutes,
Mhm.
depending on how the match goes. But people are coming off early and we are putting on fresh legs because
Yep.
we will kill the opposition because they will be tired and we will have very, very strong players into the game early with time to change it around or score more goals or whatever is needed. And we're not taking advantage of that. What is the point of having these great players and leaving them sitting on the bench and bringing them in for 10 or 15 minutes?
Mhm. Do you think that? By the way, Michael Wolf says, "Don't forget the blocked PK from AO." No, it could have been 2-0. No, you're true. Listen, AO did really well. I don't blame him for the goal. I think he stood up tall for the PK. I think he was fantastic. I think he had a better match. He definitely had a better match. But on that note, I think I lost the train of thought. But I think we need to. This is a dumb question, but I'm going to ask it anyways. Do you think there's player power? Do you think that he doesn't want to take? He doesn't want to. I know it doesn't sound. I know that's better. Do you think that he doesn't want to take a Lee off or a Moles off? You know what I mean? Do you think there's part of that too? And I don't want to get into. I don't. Look, I asked the question. There you go. What do you think?
Yeah, it's an interesting one. We don't have enough information on this, but I do believe there is something happening potentially at the moment.
Mhm.
And my worry about it is it's actually contracts. That there's too many players who know or believe that their contract is not going to be renewed because it should have been sorted by now if they're keeping them. I think that is a more likely an issue. But to
Okay.
also answer the question you set, which was, it is there a bit of player power? I potentially I do believe there's issues there. They signed Lee and Mullen to longer contracts, which never should have happened, in my opinion. And now they're not in good form.
So
So
I'll share this. Let me see if I can bring this up. Maybe you can bring this up. I would drop it in the chat. Maybe you can bring this up on that note. So I'll drop it in the chat. See if you can put it up on your
oh,
screen there.
um,
I'll drop it in the private chat. But let me see here. Great comment. By the way. Where's private chat? Okay, cool. This article. On that note.
okay. You just want me to bring it up on screen, yeah?
Yeah, let's see if that's maybe
Okay.
maybe we can work off that a little bit. Get some thoughts on there. This came up. 9 Wrexham AFC players set to leave as a free agent this summer. I thought that was very interesting. Where is it? Oh, no. At this stage. So.
Okay. So you're reading my screen now, are you?
Yeah, the Red Dragons promoted back to EFL.
Okay.
So where's there's a list in there somewhere.
Yeah.
Rob
Lainton, okay, that's expected.
Yeah.
Mark Howard, yeah.
Yeah.
No issues there.
Aaron
Hayden, okay. Ben Tozer. Jordan Tunnicliffe, I don't think is an issue, but we've just gone through Hayden and Tozer. Now, Hayden and Tozer are still a major part of the team.
Yep. Yep.
That's
Ton of
an issue.
yeah. McFadden doesn't really get on.
McFadden,
Luke
Young, he's been out for a while. Yeah. James McLean, I don't think I wouldn't see an issue with James McLean here.
I agree. Yeah, he's got the mentality. He's like, I'm going to go all in.
But he also came in on a very short contract, knowing that he was only here for a short period of time. So I wouldn't see a problem with him being told, look, we're going to make a decision in the summer, and we'll talk about it and see what we're going to do. If you want to come back, if you're not, if you're willing to be on the bench or whatever.
I think he has an option, by the way, too. I think he has an option. What else? Is there any more? Are those the guys? Yeah, those are the guys.
Yeah.
Let me see. The last one was Macca. Yeah, last one was Macca. I thought, those are the guys, the 9 players, On that note, coming from Aaron, he said, do you think Lee and Mull's contracts are too long, or do you think they shouldn't have been extended?
They should never have been extended. No, I'm sorry. Great players, but they were already on long contracts. I don't know why. I don't think it's an idea of saving money later, because what do you do now? Like, what if his form doesn't come back? So we get promoted and he continues bad for the rest of the year. That's okay. He gets the summer off, and himself and Lee come back, and they can't hack it in League One. The age is just caught up with him. I'm not saying that is the case, but if it was to be the case, then what do we do? We've got 3 years of the 2 boys.
So you're saying maybe keep them hungry, maybe see what we can do. So maybe that was like a an appeasing of the of the moment thing. Thoughts? I mean, that could have been it.
It could be. I actually wonder, is it more of an appeasement of the fans?
Yeah,
because I think they were worried that they were going to have a bad transfer season, and they brought out these contracts because they made a big fanfare immediately at midnight. They wanted to get something out into the papers. They were unsure what they were going to get in the season. They had probably already said, look, the people are asking for too much money. And they had, my guess is they had made the decision, we are going to hold firm. If people are looking for too much money, we are not going to pay it this season. Right. So I think with that in mind, they wanted to get something out there, and they acted as if Lee and Mullen were contract extensions and good business. But I'm sorry, they weren't. Their contracts were long enough at that stage. There was no worry. And also, out of everybody in the squad, do you think Lee and Mullen are going to go looking around for a better team?
No.
They're the most set players we have in our team. There's no worry that we need to keep them on side, that they're going to start looking around, that they're going to be unhappy or whatever. So, and then you extend it again. And all they did was extend it by basically another year.
Yeah, United do that a lot too. Manchester United following a long time. It's more like a marketing tactic advantage. Like, we kept we kept them and we got AO. So it's like we didn't sign anybody, but you know what I mean. And then we ended up getting obviously JM and Bolt. But it's like it's a tactic thing. Was like we're doing business. We're not doing the business exactly what you want, but we're doing business. So
the only other element there I see is that they had to increase their pay because of contractual obligations with regards to new players coming in. Maybe they were having to offer higher wages, and Mullen is on a kind of an equal, well, you pay someone more, you put my pay up. So they decided at that stage, well, we have to change your contract anyway. Let's ask for another year and let's use it in that way.
Interestingly enough, I think he was at 6K a week. Now he's at 12. Whether that's true or not, I'm not sure. But there's probably a lot of factors in there. Probably a lot of factors in there too. And they are the cornerstones. I get it. And we're we can't predict the future. I think what was that? 12 days ago, we were in a better position than we were now, right? Granted, there's no right to winning any matches. I think that always comes up. It's come up on a few of it, a few other shows lately, that we have no right to win. Well,
with Mullen, I could see Mullen being a bench player, and to be honest, maybe Lee as well. I in the long term, not immediately. I
Mhm.
think that the fact that they've had poor form this season or at the moment is really getting to them. That they
Mhm.
did not expect to have this issue in League Two at the moment.
Has Lee
Um,
not started? Has Lee started every league match?
I, maybe one he didn't, but
Yeah,
not much more than that.
yeah,
He probably didn't play all the cup games.
definitely not. No,
Yeah, he was off all of those, but otherwise, no. I think there might maybe one of them. Um, but he had a great start to the season.
oh, he's fantastic.
So
He's got 14 goals, right? 13 or
yeah,
14. Yeah,
I don't expect Lee to be scoring goals in every match,
no.
and he does his job. He goes out on the pitch, he runs like crazy.
Mhm.
Okay, this is always the chicken and egg with me. If the team has a bad day and Lee has a bad day, was it Lee's fault he had a bad day, or was it team's fault that Lee had a bad day?
Yeah,
So
I don't think
I
anyone comes out of the match. I don't think anyone. Sorry, to your point, there, I don't think anyone comes out of the match like, "Oh, we lost that game because Lee was off of it." You know what I mean? I don't think that ever comes up.
but Lee's been getting a lot of criticism lately. A lot of people are saying that he's off the mark and he's off the ball and he's not getting as much as he used to.
Hmm.
And again, my question is, well, is it his fault or is it the team's fault? But I don't expect him to be doing those things.
Hmm.
Now, at the start of the season, he had to step up because he became more attacking because Mullen wasn't around,
Hmm.
and it became a team effort to attack.
Yeah,
And since Mullen has come back, that is something I think we have backed off a bit. And I think everybody is trying to get it in towards Mullen instead of acting as an entire unit and having danger from everywhere.
yeah.
Um,
We're not cohesive.
and yeah, and I think that danger of the entire team attacking actually is what opened the door a lot for Mullen.
Mhm.
Because when you could fire them in from anywhere, and even last season we had a lot of players scoring. It
Yeah.
wasn't just Mullen, but the fact we were charging with all our players and getting those runs, we got it to Mullen anyway.
And that's what good teams do. I mean, look at the best
Yeah,
teams in the world. They get scoring all over. It's not just strikers. Yeah, granted, some strikers have an insane season, but not just strikers. They score goals. And on that note, Michael Wolf has a good question here too. How do we feel about the defense? Cringe every time Tozer gives it away with a bad pass. Tozer's good at he's good at distributing to left, right, not going forward, not so much. But he seems to be almost like a lone point guard when I'd rather have a Geo on the ball back there. But what do you think about that?
I have had an issue with Tozer for quite a while.
Mm-hmm.
I've been really unhappy. The mistakes he makes, even though he can be solid for a large portion of the match, when he makes a mistake, he makes them big.
Mm-hmm. Like last
Um,
week.
a-
Like last.
and he puts us in very, very dangerous positions. Now he is a defender, kind of last man. So yeah, if he messes up, there's no one to save him,
Right.
bar the keeper. So there's a little bit of that there. Okay. But I can't remember which match it was, but it was after George Evans came back and Tozer passed him a hospital pass and nearly got him crippled by one of the attacking players.
Yeah.
And I was roaring at the TV screen when he did it. I was like, "Are you kidding me?"
He
He could have got.
he reminds me a lot of Harry Maguire. They kind of they in a way where like their ego gets in the way of how they should be playing. I'll push
Mm,
up another 5-10 yards. I'll try to go a little bit further. I think he's been a little bit more disciplined. I think he was a little more disciplined when he had O'Connor, when he had Stash next to him. But
yeah,
now bringing in guys that he's not used to playing with, on a regular basis, i.e. O'Connell and Hayden on a regular basis. I know he's played with him before, but I think that Stash was on the ball a lot more, and it helped him just be a defender and allowed Stash to to play the balls a little bit.
Ye- yeah. I want to go back actually and have a look at the long throws, and I want to see how many of them were actively part of a goal.
Mhm.
What was it, the setup of a goal? Because I think we're relying on that way too much. Um, and another issue the team has is corners.
Yo,
How many corners did we get in that last match? And we wasted
Elliot
so
Lee
many of them.
put two, out of the park, but one short. I don't know why he's taking them. Macca's 2-footed. I don't get it. And Sheldon says right here, Carol says right here, Sheldon's right. They've been trying to carry the team. The fact that it's not working, it's getting to them. I think a break for Mulls and Lee could do everyone a world of good. And you saw this past weekend when Elliot Lee was taking the corners, they're all over the place.
Just on that point, another one is Lee. I do think he's putting a massive amount of pressure on himself to try and pull the team back. And that sort of pressure you have on yourself when he's taking those corners and wallops the ball right out of the park, that's craziness.
Yeah.
And I do think McLean sometimes has a very wild leg with his corners as well. He has some great passes in.
Yeah.
Crosses into the box sometimes, but he's a bit wild with those as well sometimes. So I don't know. I really think our set plays need improvement.
Carol HR also says, I don't know if there's anything we can do about toes until the summer, unfortunately. Maybe O'Connell, when TOC is back, Max needs to be on the right too. I think Max did a great job. I don't know why we took him out. He must, whatever. I know he's 21 years old, but
I don't get that.
Yeah,
I don't get that either.
I know Aaron's very athletic. He's very athletic, and he's got. I mean, shit, he could probably play right wing back if we wanted to. But I don't know. Max was doing great. I don't know if there was a quick injury that happened, but like my solid back. Actually, it's funny. If we had a full fit squad, right now, here's my full fit squad. I put AO right. My three at the back would be O'Connell, Tozer, and Hayden. Okay. Macca, I put Bolt, and I put Gio, O'Connor, and Lee in the midfield, and I put JM and Elliot and Mullis up front. That's what I would do. That's how I would start. I put O'Connor in the midfield.
Yeah. I would like to play Mullen and Marriott up front together.
Yeah.
And tell the team, right, we have got two small guys up the front. Do not launch balls at them. Not unless we have small defenders or whatever. Or of course, occasionally, if you see a perfect opportunity, go for it. But you play the ball up to them, end of story.
Yeah.
You get the ball up, you get them passed in. Both of the players can do it. Mullen, how many goals was Mullen setting up for people last season?
Several.
Yeah. On occasion, he got a little bit greedy on open passes he didn't take. However, there's a lot of chances where he actually passed lovely balls in for other players as well. So he's capable of it. Marriott should be capable of it as well. And either of them playing off the other, they should be able to do it. And our team is strong enough. I'm sick of the long ball up. We got rid of it for a while, and now it's back. The last match we didn't have it again, and at least we looked better.
Yeah, we definitely look better, and I think there's, I think again we're stuck in the mud a little bit in regards to we're gonna get through it. We're gonna get through it. Aaron says McLean.
Yeah, I love this comment.
Yeah, it looks like he could hit a coin from 80 yards away, but sometimes it looks like he could miss a bar from 10. Yeah. Well, on that, so I got a little frustrated with Macca on the weekend because he didn't want to go outside and beat his man, and I thought he had the pace to do it. He kept cutting back and putting it back and recycling it to Gio or to Elliot Lee, and I think maybe that was because that was how it was designed. But if anyone can whip a ball in, on the run, it's him. He could definitely do that.
Yeah, I'm really interested in the way he plays, and I'm very curious. Is that the way he wants to play, or is that the way he's been told to play?
Right.
Because sometimes he seems to take that leash off, and he does some great stuff, great passes, great runs up front around people. But other matches, he does nothing except collect the ball. He's a little bit slow on his first touch.
Yep.
The defender comes in on him, and he turns around and passes the ball back.
Right, because I think it might be that they don't want to get him too high up the pitch because he's got to recover, and he's probably covering for the back line a little bit more. Now O'Connell's a little bit slower than By the way, O'Connell he's played fantastic. He's probably our one of our best defenders, maybe when fully fit. So maybe that's because he feels like he thinks O'Connell's a little bit slower than Stash was, so he has to get back and cover that space. So he's going to push all the way forward to put that on them.
And I kind of agree with that logic, but for me, that logic, because some of our players are a bit slow, but they're just very, very skillful, lends itself to having a solid back line and going to a more solid 4 that they do not press that high up the pitch. Okay, if you make a movement, you get the pass off and you immediately return into the defensive line. And that back 4 stay together. Even if they push up the pitch together, that's okay. But they stay together at all times. And they're a solid back. And everybody else can attack.
Yeah,
but we keep that defense line.
I think we can easily do a 4-4-2. We have enough players for a 4-4. He's not going to do it. But he can do it.
He's not going to do it.
He's never going to do it. And that's a good lineup. Check out AO. You put either you have McLean on the left. You got you do maybe Hayden and Tozer in the midfield. Then I put Barnett on the right in the midfield. Midfield 2 is Lee, and you put I don't know Lee and Gio, right? Or actually you can put Mendy there in the back, and you can put McLean up as a right winger. Left winger, and then on the right wing you could put Bolt, and up front you could put JM, and you could put or Fletcher or somebody like that, and Mullen. You can actually play a 4-4-2 very easily. But he won't do that.
You could play a 4-4-2, but at the same time, if you're keeping the solid back 4, it can be a 4-3-3. It can be multiple versions, and you can play lots of different formations, especially with the players we have. And our midfield players are so capable of scoring. That it could become a 4-2-4 very, very easily as well. There's so many of those combinations that you could use, and allow the players to mix around. Depending on the situation.
McLean or Mendy, 2 completely different players, right? They're so different.
Yeah.
They're not even like.
I used to love Mendy. I just haven't seen him play enough lately. It's kind of out of my memory a little bit. He's had some amazing strikes, amazing shots on target, and goals.
Goal of the season
as well. Goal of the season, yeah.
Him and Cannon, goals of the season.
But would I play him every single game? I don't know. And this is another problem I have. I don't know that Parky is really putting players out on the pitch for a set reason. And I don't know that other players on the pitch understand the differences between Mendy and McLean, or understand what it means to the style of play they should be doing.
Yeah.
I just don't see it on the pitch.
It's really funny you talk about that Mendy. I couldn't place his style of play. I could say Maka is aggressive. He gets in, he gets stuck in the tackles, he gets forward. It's Mendy's style of play to Michael's point. I don't really see that, but you're right. But I will say that we had a better passage of play. So I think there's players that he's trusting more. He probably trusts Harkey. That is, he probably trusts McLean over Mendy.
Yeah. To me, I think it looks, just guessing, I think it looks like he's getting nervous, and he is playing the people he thinks will make it on the day, the people that will save his ass. Yeah, and I think he's going back to the trusted best players.
Yeah.
Even though he got good results with other players as well, like Mendy immediately been back in the squad.
Yeah.
You
mean
Hayden? Sorry, Hayden. Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's almost like alligator arms. When you play football or basketball, or whatever our sports. Like you don't want to you're afraid to put everything out. You want to keep everything close to you. I get it. So he's going with the people he trusts, which fair play he should. And like I said, reading that article yesterday through the Athletic, he really feels like this won't affect him. Maybe we'll get through a tough time. So he's definitely thinking about things, I would say. I think Mendy is our strongest wing back. He's a true wing back, equally good in attack and defense. And he's what, 26? Yeah.
Yeah, I would mainly agree with that. You were talking about Mendy's style. I think very often Mendy comes in late to the attack.
Yeah.
When the attack is up there, he sees the moment and he gets up in behind everybody, and very often a pass comes out to him, when they're not breaking through the line. He comes up late, gets the ball, and then he either breaks in through the line and gets a lovely pass off to someone else, or he takes a shot when he sees one.
Yeah.
And either it gets deflected by the keeper into dangerous areas, or potentially he's even scored it himself.
Yep.
So,
mainly that's on the right because he can't cross the ball.
yeah. Well,
I mean, he can cross on the left, but he can't cross
on the left,
right.
but he can't cross on the right. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's the interesting thing too. He's interesting thing too. He's not a like for like on the left for Maka. So, Maka will overlap, get to the byline. Mendy comes a little late, like you're saying. I think that's very interesting too. Although, we're gonna ugly this up tomorrow, going into this match. Any thought predictions before we sign off here? What are your thoughts on what tomorrow? How are we gonna look? How are we gonna shape up? What do you think?
Do you know what? I hate doing predictions in general, but especially because it's away. I would normally never be nervous about this, and I would just be going crazy if we had a horrible game. But I'm nervous.
Yeah,
about this,
Yeah, I don't know what to expect, but I do see an improvement. And Parky, sorry, here we go. Carol HR says Parky always goes with experience, though, because he has no system and trust players who make decisions on the pitch. That approach always has a ceiling and will bite us hard if it hasn't already. To your point, you're nervous.
Okay, here's a question for you then. What do you think Parky is playing for? Is he just playing for top 3? Or...
Yeah, I think so. I think the hook or crook, get him out of here. That's what it is. I think hook or crook, get him out of here. Next year, I would anticipate like a building year. I don't anticipate we go up this year, which I think we're in a good position to do so still. And next year is the building year. I would not expect to go up next year. But yeah, I think he's playing for top 3. We go into the playoffs where,
And this is where I would like a different style of aiming for top 3. I think because of our team, we should be extremely aggressive in our attacking play. And what we're going for is we are always going for the 3 points. And occasionally, if we sacrifice those 3 points because we're too aggressive, okay, fair enough. Lose a match here and there, but we're going to turn those draws into wins. And if you're pushing for that first place, you might end up in third.
Yeah,
if the results don't go your way, always be attacking, always be pushing for the 3 points, and then we might only get to the third. That's acceptable.
We can't be tentative, basically what you're saying.
Yeah.
No, yeah. And I look at this too. I'm looking at the February schedule right now. 30,000 foot, just win, lose, or draw. We'll hold you to it. Sutton tomorrow, win, lose, or draw.
I think it's a win. I do.
All right. Home against Notts.
I think it's a win and maybe a draw.
Okay.
I think Notts are in terrible shape. Notts back line are disastrous at the moment.
And they lost their manager too. So that's 4 points right there. You want to say 4? Or are you going to go with the dub there? That's 4 points or 3? You're going to take 6 or 4?
I'm going 6. Go 6.
MK Dons away.
We could lose that.
Okay. Gillingham away.
Draw.
7. FGR away.
3.
Okay, that is
10.
10. Accrington home.
Win.
And by the way, there's much needed in that because the chairman upcharged them. So we could potentially have 15, 12 points, whatever it is. I see that happening. I can see that. And we need some help. We need some help. We really do. I mean, Stockport's not going to win every goddamn match. You know what I mean? I need this Mansfield.
Well, again, it depends. Do we need help or do we not need help? Because if we're not going for first or second, we don't need help. I think looking at Crewe and Barrow, they're making a couple of good games here and there, but I don't see them challenging us over the rest of the season.
Which well, if you look at the top 6, between the top 6, I know people have games in hand that are ahead of things. From 1 to 6, there's 10 points between them. 51 MK Dons, 61 Stockport. And then Harrogate's at 47. So I think it's a It's 6 into 3 for the top 3. I think it's 6 into 3, whatever that looks like.
Okay.
And then playoffs are playoffs. I know people haven't had booked points or not booked points, whatever. But I think looking at this now, it's 6 into 3.
I think it's less than that. Going by my stats, it's top 5. Top 5 with 10. Yeah, I don't think Barrow and Crew are strong enough to make a massive charge.
Well, I mean, if we beat our game in hand, which is FGR, we'd have 55 points. We're in third place. So you might be right. Yeah, because it's a deceiving table. It really is.
It's a
deceiving table. And by the way, good point. Carolina Trust is a good point, Sheldon. He does make great points. It's a deceiving table, and I think the accumulation of death by 1,000 paper cuts is happening right now, which is
and I do think we have a better run-in for the rest of the season. We are playing the lower league teams on the away matches in general. And the harder teams at the top end of the table, we're playing them at home.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think our run-in is horrible. Now, saying that, our last 2 matches being Crew and Stockport, I don't want to be needing those points.
Hold on, our last 2 games are Crew and Stockport. I know Stockport. I might be at that game.
Second last one's Crew. So if they're right beside us, that could also be a nasty game. And if they are right beside us, then we have Stockport afterwards.
Do we play Mansfield also?
We're done with Mansfield, or they're coming up soon. I think we're done with them. We beat them twice.
We did,
if I recall.
Let me see. Matches, first team. I'm trying to bring up the thing here. By the way, Michael Wolf says that a bad thing we don't get promoted this season.
Yes.
Sounds like Bloom and Doom. No. We're just
no. I don't think we'll be in the playoffs. I think we'll comfortably take third.
I think so too.
Yeah.
I think we'll comfortably second or third. We play Mansfield on March 29th home.
Oh yeah, we do. Yeah, okay. Yeah.
6-pointer. 6-pointer. I think we'll be top 3. But Jesus H, we got a lot to do. It's gotta be exciting, or it might be stressful. I might lose the rest of my hair. You never know.
The only reason I'm in any way worried about taking second from Mansfield is it means there's another team in danger with us.
Yeah.
If we end up in danger, we're not the only ones.
Mm-hmm.
So it gives us a little bit more breathing room that there's someone else with us there.
Yeah. I think we'll know a lot tomorrow. We're going to bounce back tomorrow and win. Not doom and gloom. Hey, Kelly and Connie, good to see you guys, gals. But I think we're going to bounce back tomorrow. I don't know how it's going to look. I think it's going to be ugly. I think we're gonna battle tomorrow. I think we're going to be okay. I think this is
2 weeks. 2 weeks. I think the next four matches.
Jesus.
It's going to make a big difference.
We'll know a lot. This is busier than the Christmas period. For a long period of time. You know what I mean?
And busier than last year.
Yeah.
At this time of year as well.
Yeah. I'm excited. So tomorrow, I don't know who's going to be here. Not to give you news and note. I've been talking about it. I'm going to do the show. Kelly and Connie are fine. We'll do the live watch. We will be fine because Kelly and Connie. I agree with you. I agree with you. Tomorrow, I will be doing the watch along. I do have a work call at 12:30. I'm saying I cannot miss this work call, but I'm not going to miss the watch along. So we will start at 12:30. I'm going to jump off, leave the show on. If anyone wants to come and sit and sit and talk to people, that'd be cool. But it'll probably be 15 minutes, and I'll be right back. So I'll just put that out there. I don't know who's available, or if not, I can just leave it up. If people want to go, totally fine. But I'll just let you guys know. I'm going to be doing the watch along tomorrow. I got to jump out for like 15, 20 minutes or 15 minutes. So just want to
which part of the match is that? First half?
I believe it's probably 12:30. Fuck a duck. I don't know. Well, I'll have to look at it. But I'll have to look at it. But 12:30 tomorrow. So we'll have to just play it by ear. But at 12:30, I have to jump off. I have to take a work call. But I'm not going to miss the watch along.
Yeah, I should be able to jump and stay on stream if you want to. I can talk through the chat or whatever.
Okay.
Just to have a voice. I should be able to. It just depends on the kids. But yeah, if you want, I can keep an eye on the chat and just see what people are saying.
Yeah, we'll connect. Let's connect tomorrow. But I want to make sure everyone has it. Listen, I want to keep it up. And then next week, the Tuesday match, I have a board meeting, so I don't know that's too much information, but whatever. We'll worry about that next week. So So for the Tuesday game. But all right, look, good to see you, man. Good stats, good talk through, fun. Not doom and gloom. We're gonna win tomorrow. I think. I don't know how we're gonna do it. We're gonna win tomorrow. I think it's the start of it tomorrow. So excited about it. So, but we'll catch up tomorrow before the game, and we'll go from there. All right.
Yeah, we'll do.
All right. All right. That's Sheldon. Everybody, good stuff, man. Cheers. All right, that's Sheldon. Great stats, good guy, knows his stuff. Really enjoyed that conversation. So, okay, game tomorrow, as I mentioned, we will be here for the watch along. Looking forward to that. Got to jump off for a couple minutes because work has a precedence. I apologize for that, but we will be here. Tomorrow starts the new Sutton United. Going to come after it away. I think we're going to do well. We're leading into this next busy period. The second busy period that we're having this season, but I think we're going to do okay. So looking forward to it. Thank you all for joining. Drop a like, share, subscribe if you can. Hate getting late. Oh, I'm sorry. I apologize, Kelly and Connie. I apologize. Fantastic stuff, fellas. I always repeat Nate Sheldon stats. No, he's really good. He's really good. Sorry. Kelly and Connie, I apologize. Wanted to get a late one up myself. Make sure we had something in for everybody today before a match for the match preview. So we'll be live tomorrow. Hope everyone had a good Monday, kicking off the week. Enjoyed the Super Bowl yesterday. It was a decent game at the end. But let's go and win our game tomorrow. All right. So on that bombshell, I will see everyone tomorrow.